Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, as well as all of the canon material that's going to be done in the books, the novels, and the comics and video games. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we are currently in a very, exciting time to be a Star Wars fan because a lot of things are happening between Disney, Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni to really kickstart this new universe. We got the KENOBI series right around the corner. The AHSOKA Tano TV show is going to begin filming in just a short number of days. There's a lot of things happening, and George, John, and Dave want to make all of that possible. They want to really draw a lot from Star Wars Legends, the highlights I'm talking about, like Shadows of the Empire, Dark Empire, the New Jedi Order, the Thrawn Trilogy. I mean, there's a lot of things that you're going to see from Legends being implemented into the Mandoverse and into other eras of Star Wars as well. Now, with that being all done and said, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with the AHSOKA Tano series. Now, in case you guys didn't know this, is that both Hayden and Rosario are doing a lot of training as we speak for their roles as both Anakin and Ahsoka returning in the show. There's going to be a lot of wild things that will be implemented into that series, by, of course, Dave Filoni. He is the very guy that's trying to make all of this possible. So, given that we have Dave Filoni working on that and other projects as well, which we will dive into a little bit more later on, what's even all the more exciting is that with both Disney and Lucasfilm now involved with the AHSOKA Tano TV show, and how that is set and ready to begin filming, both Favreau and Filoni are already pre-planning their announcement at Star Wars Celebration. Now, it's described, however, that currently many scenes are being planned to begin filming for the AHSOKA Tano TV series that is going to deal with Ahsoka Tano dealing with aspects of the future and the past using the world between worlds. However, one of the big sets that have been built for the Ahsoka series is set to emulate that realm, that Ahsoka will use certain portals to see different points in time. However, one major scene is set to involve Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost in a very special moment for Star Wars fans to witness. Now, it's described that in the Ahsoka series is actually set to elaborate on what happens to Ben Solo when he is thrown in the pit on Exegol, and how the depths of that pit is connected to the world between worlds using a vergence in the Force. Now, the vergence in the Force that lies under Exegol's surface is described to allow Ben Solo to travel into the world between worlds, where Lucasfilm is described to have already planned to use archived and unused footage of Ben Solo, and will be reworking that all, of course, into the Ahsoka series for a very brief moment in which Anakin's ghost is set to guide Ben Solo back to the surface of Exegol. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, in case you guys did not know this, is that both John and Dave want to really create a lot of parallels to, of course, previous Star Wars installments. And once again, like I say, at the end of the day, Star Wars is all about the vision by George Lucas. It's like poetry, it rhymes. And now we're going to have a scenario in which we have like grandfather, like grandson type of scenario. You're going to have the grandfather guiding the grandson in a very unique experience where you have Anakin's Force Ghost reaching out to Ben Solo, using, of course, the world between worlds and how he's connected through the vergence of the Force. Now, we're going to type into that a little bit more, once we actually get the Ahsoka series rolling. A lot of fans are very much intrigued to see exactly how far Dave Filoni is willing to go. It doesn't end there. I mean, they are planning to do major retcons as well with the sequel trilogy, but this, in particular, is going to be a full-on explanation of what happens to Ben Solo when he falls into the pit. There's a lot of explanations in there that's going to be fully, covered in the Ahsoka series. So, there's a lot of things dealing with the Exegol planet and its connection to the Force. Now, beyond that, Alright, on top of this, the scene is actually described to be very brief yet powerful, and Adam Driver will not be coming back for the series, unfortunately, but Lucasfilm will be using footage that will be repurposed in a very detailed way, similar to what Lucasfilm did with the Book of Boba Fett, using footage from Attack of the Clones that was also repurposed, in case you guys didn't know. Now, a connection between both Anakin and Ben Solo is described to be established in the AHSOKA series, and Hayden is set to use one important line of dialogue that will guide Ben Solo back to the surface of Exegol to help Rey. Now, Lucasfilm is set to make it canon that the world's, of course, realm is connected to the netherworld of the Force in several ways that will be explained in the show. This is another show that, of course, Chapek plans to turn into a multi-season series like KENOBI, instead of it being just a limited one to have endless possibilities for the franchise. And I agree with Chapek on that. You know, it never really made sense to me as to why KENOBI and AHSOKA, the most anticipated Star Wars shows, are only getting one season that are now becoming multi-season shows, thankfully. You know, if you look at Andor, that got 3 seasons right off the bat, and it's not even released yet. Let alone, you know, the marketing hasn't even started for that show. Meanwhile, you got KENOBI here, which previously was only going to be 1 season. Chapek is now making it 3 seasons minimum. And he's going to touch on that a lot more, officially speaking, in the coming months, so keep your eyes open for that. Now, the scene is set to begin filming sometime by this July between both Hayden and Rosario as Anakin and AHSOKA, and how they will interact briefly with Ben Solo using one of the portals that will be used in the series to attach to the sequel trilogy's end with their aid for Ben Solo. This is something that George Lucas will also be supervising on how Anakin will be portrayed in the scene and used as a Force ghost in the world between worlds. This is also said to be Dave Filoni's way to create a direct connection between grandfather and grandson officially in the Star Wars canon, for Anakin and Ben to briefly communicate before Ben Solo saves Rey. Favreau will also be creating multiple retcons toward the sequel trilogy, as opposed to this, which is just going to be an explanation of what happens to Ben Solo in the pit. Now, here's the deal about this, is that the AHSOKA series is not going to be all about the world between worlds. Let's just make that clear, is that that's not going to be the main focus. It's going to be a big part of the story, yes, but the main focus is all going to be about finding Ezra Bridger and hunting down Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's the big main part of the story, but the big backdrop is going to be the world between worlds and why the actual realm is embedded in the logo itself. If you guys look very closely, it's because it is going to have a big direct connection and impact on the storytelling of the AHSOKA series and how AHSOKA will grow as a character. So if you guys have seen Rebels, you know, it almost like they made it clear that the realm would be inaccessible indefinitely, and they almost made it like that was very much, you know, concrete. Now they're taking that apart and they're making it all the more possible that AHSOKA can go in there and use that realm to her own abilities to do what she needs to do to find certain answers. And a lot of that is going to have to do with Ezra, AHSOKA, and more. So overall, I think that Hayden and Rosario, they're going to rock in this, you know, new series. You know, they're going to do an excellent job. You know, they have a lot of training that they have gone through for the past number of months, so just keep that in mind. But overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know through all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.